Assuming that the Visual Studio .NET IDE has already been installed, we can access that by going to Start, Programs, and go to the Microsoft Visual Studio .NET 7.0 group. Inside this program group, you'll find the option for Visual Studio .NET 7.0. When the .NET interface first loads, you'll get a Start page. The Start page is basically nothing more than a little web page that gives you some history of some projects that you've worked on. From this page, you can open existing projects, start new projects, or you can actually access content on the web. You'll notice that surrounding the outsides of the .NET interface are little icons on the left-hand side and also over on the right-hand side. Now on your screen, you may not see all the same icons that I have, but you can access them underneath the View menu, which I'll show you here in a moment. Each of these little icons actually represents a window. If I were to hover over one of these icons, you'll notice that a little window pops out. I move my mouse away, and that window will disappear. These auto-hide windows provide all the basic interface functionality without consuming a lot of excess real estate. Now, as far as the icons themselves, we've got a series of windows such as the class view, which we can use to actually view the physical class types that have been created inside any project. We have an index, which is useful for searching our underlying MSDN help information, as well as a search functionality looking for the documentation. This icon that has the picture of the little IDE next to it is our Solution Explorer. This will list, when we have a project open, actually all the files that are part of the individual solution. We also have a little window here called Dynamic Help, which gives us help based on where we actually are, what we're currently doing within the Visual Studio IDE. On the right-hand side, the left-hand side, I have a picture of the Server Explorer. Server Explorer gives me a list of all the servers, data servers, and other services that I'm currently connected to, as well as our toolbox. So if we're working with a WinForm, WebForm, etc., all the various graphical elements and tools are available from the toolbox. Now, if you don't have some of these windows, you'll notice that off the View menu, you'll see all of these various window options listed. And if you want to access any of these windows that you currently don't have icons for on your IDE, you can go to this window view list. Now, one of the nice functionalities of these auto-hide windows is the ability to pin them if you wish to have them always available. For example, let's say that I was doing some searches of the documentation, and I wanted this search window to always be visible and not auto-hide when I send it away. You'll notice that in the upper right-hand corner of the search window, a little icon that looks like a thumbtack or a push pin. If you click that button, it will pin this window to the screen. So as I move my mouse away, you'll notice that that window did not disappear. You'll also notice that the screen reaccommodated that window based on whatever the size of the window is. So I got my little toolbar here, or my scroll bars, excuse me, here, basically because now I can't actually show the entire start page because this search page is consuming part of the real estate. If I move my mouse back up to that push pin icon, that will remove the auto-hide or the pinned behavior and take me back to an auto-hide style behavior. Another of the nice functionalities that's available in the Visual Studio .NET IDE is an integrated web browser. You'll notice that at the top of my window here, right there in the toolbar, there's a little toolbar option which lists essentially a web browser interface. This gives me the ability to type in a URL and navigate to that URL directly within the browser. So I could select a specific location on the web, for example, and I'm actually going to be navigating to that location within the browser that's integrated into the IDE. Now, the nice thing about this for me is that often I find some useful documentation on the web somewhere, maybe at msdn.microsoft.com or other useful websites that provide documentation or reference materials. Now, with an integrated browser, I actually have a window available that allows me to get access to that information in the same place that I'm doing my programming. makes the whole process a little bit easier. Now, there are other features of the Visual Studio.NET interface that we'll run into as we start playing around with some of our code. I think this gives you a basic idea of how the interface is generally organized.